We're getting a little spicy and personal today. Have you ever had friends with benefits? I want to know. I think my friends with benefits has feelings for me, and this story came April 14th. 2025. Now, since I'm asking you that, I obviously have to answer myself. And of course, I would be very honest with you guys, but my answer is no, okay? I'm a boring gal. When I was single, I was very single. I didn't date around. I literally didn't even go on dates.
I don't like this game. I just don't like it.
Yeah, no. I was pretty boring. I'm not very good at being single, if I'm being honest. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So, about 6 months back, I went out for drinks with some friends, one of which was Chris. Fake name, obviously. Chris and I have known each other since we were in middle school, and we're never super close, but we were always good friends, if that makes sense. She got wasted and was being flirted with by another guy in the group who was sober, which sent off alarm bells for me. So, when we were all walking to our apartments and he lingered instead of going to my apartment, I ended up crashing on her couch. The next morning, while we were having breakfast, she admitted that she found me cute, really appreciated what I did the night before, and wanted to know if I would be up for a friends with benefits situation. So ever since, we have been just that. We had both just gotten out of relationships at the time, and surprisingly, the friends with benefits situation resulted in us actually becoming really close friends, to where we now actually just hang out more often than we hang out specifically with the intent to sleep with each other. I've always been fascinated by the whole friends with benefits thing because I just know the type of person I am, and I would get feelings in that situation. Like, I can't shut that off and just hook up with someone as just a hookup. It's just never been in me. It's never been my experience. So I know that I would catch feelings.
I'm hopeless and awkward and desperate for love.
Well, before, we had a pretty strict no staying the night rule because for her, that felt like it was a step beyond friends with benefits. But late last month, she asked if I would be willing to stay the night because, quote, I just really need someone to cuddle with tonight. And I didn't think anything of it, so I obliged. But now it's become every time we do it, one of us ends up staying the night at the other person's apartment. She's also been making overtly flirty comments towards me when we're with friends, which was another rule we had because we wanted to keep this whole thing private. The problem is, I don't know that I share her feelings. She's amazing, don't get me wrong. She's beautiful. I can't undersell this. I work in a field where I work with models on a regular basis, and most of them do not even compare. No idea why she picked me out of all people. She's brilliant, driven, one of the kindest people I know. This girl volunteers at a soup kitchen weekly. I've been incredibly grateful to have gotten closer to her over the last 6 months. I think she's one of those people that you're lucky if you get to meet even one of in your whole life. Aww. These could be wedding vows. They are so sweet. Oh, I want someone to talk about me like that. I know once feelings get involved, there's no really going back to strict friends with benefits, but I also would rather get buried alive than hurt her. So I would love advice on how to handle this, okay? If you have ever had a friends with benefits situation, or maybe you're in one, let's hear it. How does it work? Especially if someone gets feelings, then what do you do? Because you want to be friends still, but now there's feelings. And now you can't really hook up. You guys know where we're headed. We are going to the comment section. Someone said, there's no way to advise you before you figure out your own feelings. OP said, I think I do have my feelings more or less figured out. I don't share the feelings that she has. She's absolutely my best friend and an incredible human being, but at least currently, I don't have romantic feelings for her. And here I was thinking it could be some great love story. Well, hey, the story's not done, so. Next comment, I think this is unavoidable. Two close friends who know each other and sleep together are bound to get attached. There aren't many options, but number one, you could no more friends with benefits and just be friends, or number two, no more friendship and just the benefits. As for navigating it, if you don't want to be in a relationship, you can let her know. It's likely that the friendship will get messy, and it's quite possible that you would need to take some space from each other until you can reset reset the friendship. I am of the belief that ultimately, friends with benefits don't work in the long term. They are temporary situations for all parties until one finds a partner or gets attached to the other party. OP said, I did kind of dread the conversation. I know it's something that I have to do, but she's my best friend in the entire world and I would do anything for her. I just don't think I share those romantic feelings for her. Part of it might be that the relationship I got out of shortly before starting this with her ended spectacularly badly and very much exploded, and I don't know that I'm ready for a relationship with anyone, honestly. At the same time, I dread if I tell her that it could harm our friendship. Y'all knew the risk though. Y'all knew the risk. Friends with benefits affects the friendship part of that. You're now adding a very intimate layer on top of it. You know? Next comment, not having this conversation is being unfair to her. She is getting strung along, maintaining the hope that you might want to be with her down the road. This prevents her from moving forward and potentially seeking a romantic partner. It's impossible to know what the friendship will turn into, but you both implicitly accepted the consequences when you started sleeping with each other. She will hurt in short term, but will surely be thankful knowing that she can make an informed decision regarding the nature of your guys' relationship. He wrote back and said, totally a fair point. I only really had all of this click this morning when I came here to make a post. I don't know that I've even fully processed it, if I'm being entirely honest, but I know she's off work. I think it's probably time to rip the Band-Aid off. I don't even know that a relationship with her in the future is completely off the table, but I do know that at this moment, it might have to be because I don't know that I'm in a position to have a relationship with anyone. It sounds like you're not ready. I do think in your heart you could be open for it to being her, but I don't know if your heart is there to let anyone in a romantic, committed relationship way, you know, because of what you're saying about your past relationship. Good news though, we got all the updates of this story, so we're gonna find out where this goes. The first update came the next day. Well, I didn't expect to have an update this soon or at all. I suspect it'll only be the one update. Spoiler alert, it's absolutely not just one update. After the first post, I called her and I told her I suspected that she was getting feelings and I was right. And I told her I didn't have feelings and I wasn't ready for a relationship out of panic for the situation. Thankfully, it was therapy day. I talked things out with my therapist about how I have serious fears about getting back into a relationship, but how those fears made me react way too quickly, and how now that things potentially collapsed, I have re-examined how I feel about her. He's in love. He's in love with her. I heard how he spoke about her. He wants that woman to be his wife. Maybe not now, but one day. After therapy, I just let myself sit with things for a while. Then I called her. It went right to voicemail. So I texted her and I let her know I wanted to talk and I wanted to do it in person if she was willing. She texted back and said she was willing to meet for dinner to hear me out. So I laid everything out to her. How my last relationship effed me up and how that made me panic when I realized she had feelings and acted before I even gave myself time to process. And then I told her how I really felt. I'm gonna cry. That her voice is my favorite sound. Not me tearing up. Not me tearing up. It should be my therapy day. How her smile is what I see when I close my eyes. All of it. And most importantly, that if she was willing to be patient with me, I wanted to give us a shot. Anyways, I'm taking her on a proper date this weekend. You guys, this could actually be a love story. Are we gonna have a happy love story on this channel, or is this all gonna go down the shitter? I'm not gonna get my hopes up because it's Reddit. Next update, 5 days later, we're now at April 20th, still in 2025. Hi all, just wanted to give a second and probably final update, unless we get married or something maybe. I just got home after spending basically all day yesterday and part of today with her. On a scale of 1 to 10, the date was an 11. The day after my last update, she and I had a long call while she was on lunch from her job. It wasn't really about anything specific. topic, but I made up the excuse that I was doing photography at a local greenhouse later that day to steer the conversation to flowers. I found out her favorite flower was lilies. Lucky me, I already knew her favorite color was pink, so I picked up a bouquet of pink lilies that day and I had them waiting. Then came Saturday. I got to her apartment and I swear nothing could have prepared me for the moment she opened the door. I have photographed models on a Miami beach at sunset. I have photographed landscapes in Iceland and Ireland. I've done a wedding on a small vineyard in Italy. I don't say any of that to brag. I say it because I thought I had a pretty good grasp on what beauty was in my experience. But the second she opened the door, the definition was changed for me. Y'all, I'm gonna keep this script and start using some of this in my everyday life. These are vows. I'm gonna be like, yo, Matt, here's some good lines. I wanna be talked to like this. I do think Matt would say lovely vows about me on his own, but some of these lines are pretty beautiful. Her eyes were the first thing I noticed, of course. Her eyes are like these beautiful ice crystals in her head, and they were highlighted by this gorgeous tan dress and the way her hair framed her face. Her smile when she saw the flowers made me freeze completely. I literally turned into a stuttering mess. I've never had that happen in my life. I'm usually confident and hard to fluster, but this outstanding human being did it without trying. I finally managed to hand her the flowers, and we took them in and put them in a vase. A couple months ago, she made an offhand comment about how she wanted to visit this upscale Italian restaurant in our city, so that's where I made the reservation. Oh, what a great date. The food was probably pretty good. I was too distracted by her to care that much about if the food was good. She info dumped about how apparently lactose intolerance is a skill issue. Her words, not mine. I don't even understand what that means because I'm lactose intolerant. Does that mean I don't have skills? Because we already know that. She does this cute thing where she'll apologize for info dumping, and when I encourage her to keep going because I love hearing her talk, she just bobs her head back and forth. It's a bit like watching a penguin dance. I don't know how else to explain it, but it makes me smile every time she does it. After that, we walked a block to a bar because they had live music. We got a single drink and the band started playing something by the Beatles. She made a comment about how it was her favorite slow song, so it felt like something to make a mental note of. So I asked her if she wanted to dance with me, and we did. And then it happened. She kissed me. It's weird. We've made out before, but this time it just felt different. It was like the lights dimmed around us and everyone else disappeared for a moment. It was just us in each other's arms. When she pulled back, she had to be sure to jokingly remind me that I nearly missed out on that. Yes, girl. I ended up staying the night with her, and today we just laid in bed until like 1 p.m. just chatting and cuddling. It's so funny because obviously the hell was that? Oh my God, it literally felt like there was a spider crawling on my head. That was terrifying. I'm not even joking, you guys. Something just touched my head. That was so weird. Like it felt like someone put a finger and went like this on my head, or like a spider like. That was weird. Marina, slow that footage down. If you see a ghost or something, I'm moving. Let's move along. After we finally got up, we went and got lunch together. We discussed what both of us wants for our future. We both want kids. We both agreed that we both wanted to adopt at least one of them to pull a kid out of the system and give them a good life. Our goals really seemed to align well. The only difference was she apparently wants a spring wedding. I always planned on getting married in the fall because of photo opportunities. Guess I'm having a spring wedding. Oh, we're talking about weddings? I know, early to think about a wedding, but I had a realization. In the last 2 months, we have spent more days together than apart. I did the math earlier this week because the thought occurred to me, so I read through our texts. From February 1st to April 12th, we only spent 32 days apart. We still talked most of those days over the phone or text, of course, and we spent 39 days together. Of those 39, only 4 of them with the explicit intent to sleep with each other. Yet somehow I still didn't realize that I was in love with this woman. I'm so hoping this stays a beautiful love story because we have all the updates. And the next one is coming 8 months later, December 20th, 2025. We are getting closer to real time. I can't wait. It's been a bit more than 8 months since I made my last post and update, and the two of us are still together. We moved in together about 2 months ago, which in my head feels like a short of amount of time to date before moving in. But after discussing things, it does feel like we've been dating for much longer than 8 months, because for several months before that, we basically were dating already. When I made my first post, I was still dealing with the fallout of an incredibly toxic and an abusive relationship that truly strained my ability to trust and allow myself to feel love. I'd be lying if I said that even through therapy, my trust issues have been resolved, but she's been so incredibly lovely and patient with me. She's genuinely just a spectacular human being. This is the first time a relationship has ever felt simple. I don't feel like I have to perform for her, and genuinely, my walls have finally come down. Well, shortly after she moved in, she started dropping the hints. She started talking about weddings, wanting to start a family, etc. quite a lot. I'm generally bad at picking up hints, but these were obvious even to me, so I asked if these were the things that she wanted and what timeline she was considering. I wanted to be positive that if I was going to propose, I already knew the answer was going to be yes, so I was probably overly thorough with getting her to say, yes, I want to marry you. I know she wants something romantic and grand, but I also know her as a person enough to know that she has a lot of social anxiety. I know that we've agreed on a fall wedding. Luckily, I know a lot of people in the wedding industry since I'm a photographer, so as long as the proposal is relatively soon, I can call in some favors and get things taken care of to make sure she gets the wedding of her dreams. That would be this fall of 2026, if they're getting engaged soon. I also know that her dream vacation spot has always been Italy, which I've been with my clients in the past. Today, I booked the plane tickets. I told her that I have a photography gig booked for March and that I wanted to bring her along since I know she's always wanted to go. I had a few choices of where to propose, and I have deliberated on that for a couple weeks now, but I've landed on the third day there. I'll be taking her to Rimini for the day. Is that how you say it? And near sunset, I will propose to her on the Ferris wheel there. That's gonna be so beautiful. It was one of the only things that ticked all the boxes for what she wanted. I would move the heavens and earth to make things perfect for her because it's what she deserves. So thank you all, especially those of you, to tell me that I was being irrational and dumb in my first post. I remember being in that panicked headspace. Honestly, I thought I wasn't worthy of her back then because I thought I was too damaged. I thought that there had to be some horrible fate in store for me, and I tried to run from my feelings. But I'm very glad many of you called me out on it, and it got me to re-examine things. I've never felt so loved and fulfilled in my life. She is the first person in my life that I don't question if she has ulterior motives being close to me. Frankly, she's not exactly starved for choices in the dating department, and if she truly didn't love me, she could just find someone else at any point. For some reason, she's chosen me, and I'm going to cling on to that for the rest of my life if I can. Oh my gosh. There's still so much more to the story. So now I'm panicking that what if things just go south? What if it all starts plummeting from here? I can't trust Reddit, you know? It's never a happy ending, really. But we got some hope. We're gonna continue, but I'm taking a sip of water, and so are you. It's hydration station. Drink your water. Cheers. That was a lot, but hydrated. Help me decide what book to read next. So I finished The Coworker by Frida McFadden. My friend actually has it because I'm letting her borrow it to read. So now, do I read Reminders of Him? I have not read this one, or I finished this one. Do I get the second book and start that one, or do I read this one first and then read the second one after? What do I do? Help me. Next update was 3 months later. It's now March 21st, 2026. Are they engaged? I've just finished getting everything packed up to get the train to Florence tomorrow morning. As I sit here, she's in the other room finishing her packing, so I figured I would come on here to write out my feelings, since this account has become a life journal of sorts. Honestly, I feel strange. Not in a bad way, of course. It's this weird, anxious excitement that I've never felt before. I know it probably sounds silly, but before the trip, I had to talk about this with my therapist. I know the odds that things don't go perfectly according to plan are pretty high. Having to accept that I don't have control over things like the temperature outside or if it rains, and the only thing I can do is just let go, and that's difficult for me. But ultimately, in less than 24 hours, I will be engaged. I already know the answer. We have openly discussed everything. She knows I'm going to propose, but just doesn't know when or how. Originally, I had a flow chart of if X goes wrong, do Y, but decided that instead I'm just gonna go and exist in the moment with her. I trust that I know her well enough that if everything goes wrong, I'll still be able to find a moment that works. Hell, worst case scenario, I know she'll be perfectly okay with a low-key proposal at the end of the day when we get back to the hotel room. Anyways, wish me luck. We have the final update. I can't wait. Oh, please stay happy. Please let this be a happy story on my channel. We really don't get many of those. The final update, very recent. We are now at May 2nd. 2026. I wanted to make sure we had gotten home and had time to discuss everything so I could do one final big update of small ones. First, I won't keep you hanging. We are engaged. So excited. I love when people get engaged. She clearly knew what was happening on the day. I wasn't really subtle about it, and I'm not surprised. I had originally made intricate plans for that day, but I noticed in other cities that nothing brought her more joy than when we were able to just point in a direction and explore without maps. She'd have so much joy in finding random little shops or sculptures or anything really. I have diagnosed OCD, so just giving up control like that has always been incredibly hard for me, but I decided to give up that control and just wander with her for a while and make specific plans for the evening. We even found this cute outdoor flea market on our stroll, and she got a cute top from a vendor there. For dinner, I had booked a table at a restaurant. Neither of us speak fluent Italian, but we'd both learned enough that we could get through ordering and asking basic questions. I think she thought that's where I was gonna propose, but I didn't want it to be that obvious. The atmosphere was lovely and the food was incredible. I highly recommend it to anyone visiting. Once we left there, I recommended that we visit a festival I heard about, which was surrounding the Florence Eye. Oh, that very large Ferris wheel. Yes, I do know of this Ferris wheel. I don't think I've ever felt so much anxiety. I knew beyond doubt that she would say yes when I asked, but I don't know. I felt this urgent need to make it perfect for her. Just the right blend of romantic while also actually thinking about what she would want. We made our way through the festival towards the wheel, and I was genuinely sweating enough that she had to ask if I was okay. Once we got onto the Ferris wheel, it genuinely felt like my brain went blank. We were in one of the most beautiful cities in the world with this incredible view over the city, and all I could see was how stunning she was from across the cart. As we got up to the top, I started panicking. For some reason, I couldn't find the ring because I couldn't remember which pocket it was in, and she clearly noticed. Before I could even get the question out, before I could even find the ring, she said yes. I'm assuming she was trying to make me feel less panicked, but she took the pressure off me. Once we got home, it felt real. I know that the only thing that really changed was that we now call each other fiancé, but there's something just mind-blowing about sleeping in the same bed as your fiancé for the first time. Since then, we've started talking things through. We're eager, I won't deny it, but we're also realists. We want to build a life that we know will last together, so we've set our wedding date for October of next year. Okay. So not 2026, 2027. That gives us time to do some more travel together and basically just exist together. Luckily, her current job allows her to work from anywhere, so anytime I travel for work, as long as there's an internet connection, we can use it as a trip together. This is beautiful. We do have one top comment, which I'm curious. Someone said, "So happy for you guys. Welcome to one of Reddit's greatest love stories." Literally. When you say you couldn't find the ring because you couldn't remember which pocket it was in, which one was it? Details, sir. Details. He said, "I was wearing a jacket with an inside pocket and I put it there thinking that's different enough. I'll remember. And then in the moment, I forgot I had an inside pocket." He's probably like feeling around being like, oh my God, like what happened to the ring? It's gone. Oh man, you know, I do give props to all of those out there who do the actual proposing part. I always thought it'd be fun to propose, you know? Of course, I loved being proposed to, but it'd be fun to like come up with a plan and ask the big question. I don't know. It also would be fun on that end. I would kill it. I would kill a proposal. I would be so dramatic about it though. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on our once happy story over here, you guys. We have a happy, healthy love story, it seems, and we hope so. Let me know your thoughts. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.